Hey there, I'm Cindy Renna, and you're listening to Homeschooling Outside the Box, where I help you build a homeschool that fits your unique family. Hey there, I'm Cindy Renna, and I'm so glad that you could join me today. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. In a perfect world, this podcast would have been published in December. It is my 100th episode, so if you have been listening the whole time, or even if you're just joining me, thank you so much for listening to the podcast and sharing it with your friends. I hope it continues to be an encouragement as I celebrate my 100th episode. It's very exciting. Well, the week that I'm going to be talking about today is actually last week. So if you're listening to this when it releases, it is January 3rd. And I had full intentions on publishing this on December 30th. But then the holidays got the better of me and we've had some family in town. And instead of recording a podcast, I cooked and we ate and drank and were merry and played board games and watched movies and read copious amounts of books. I have been binging the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon series, and I'm almost done with volume 7. If you know, you know. If you have not had the pleasure of finding this series yet, I encourage you to check it out. I've been talking about it on my Substack, and I would love to hear from you if you are reading it. It is quite addicting. So all that to say, I was not very productive in regards to my podcast, but I am today. I have before me a whole morning to write and record. It is very, very rare, almost unheard of that this happens, but we've got grandparents in town who are out celebrating with the kiddos, and my husband has plans this morning, so it is just me and my geranium red potbelly stone mug from the Grand Hotel that is one of my favorite possessions, and a microphone and my laptop and a candle's lit, and I'm ready to go. So this is going to be a fun day for me, and I'm glad that you're joining me. If you are listening to this before Epiphany on January 6th, then technically it is still Christmas. So hopefully the things I talk about in this episode will be relevant. And if not, then maybe you will still get something out of it and you can still set goals, because there's no limit on when you're allowed to do this. You can take all of January to look forward into your new year and just stretch it out over the month at your leisure, because we are going to be talking about setting goals and reflection and anticipation, and January is just the perfect month to do that. Before we get started, I do just want to drop a quick note about my Substack. If you have not checked out my Substack yet, I would encourage you to come join me in 2026. My Substack is completely free to read and will forever be free, but there is a paid membership option, and if you become a paid member on my Substack, you will get my monthly everything guides. And what are these monthly everything guides, you ask? Well, at the beginning of each month, I send out this everything guide. It will come straight to your email if you're an email subscriber, or you can get it on the Substack app. This guide includes links to resources that will help you savor the month by sharing ideas about what to meditate on, read, listen to, sing, admire, watch, cook, make, freshen, and fragrance. I also include a guiding quote every month, a rhythm to focus on, a poetry and tea time inspiration, including the actual poems all typed out ready to go for you, and a menu option, an idea that you can make, something to make and tea to serve. Also, nature items to hunt for, outings to take, and tips on how to prepare for the upcoming season. So again, this is for my paid subscribers on Substack, and you can use it to enrich your homeschool, or if you're not homeschooling, or if you've already homeschooled and you're past that season of your life, this could just be for your own personal learning and enjoyment, because we never need to stop learning, right? So I hope you will check that out and you will join me. I'm adding something to the paid subscriber perks this year, which is the chat feature. So hopefully this will become a place where we can connect and talk about different questions that you might have. The other thing that I wanted to let you know, and this is definitely relevant to you who are listening to my podcast, is that I have decided to bring back interviews in 2026. So I had taken a break from the interviews and I'd been sharing some replays over the year, but I think I'm ready to get back to interviews. So I am very excited about this. I already have some lined up and I think you're going to be really happy with who I'm going to chat with this year, but I would love to hear from you if you have people that you would like me to interview. So you can message me on Instagram or on my Substack and just let me know who you might like for me to interview and tell me what topic you would like me to talk to them about. So stay tuned for interviews coming back this year. All right, so with that out of the way, let's get on with the show on reflection and expectation. This is the goal setting episode. So the week before Christmas and New Year, and even the rest of the 12 days of Christmas on through Epiphany on January 6th, are my favorite time of year. It is the already not yet time. We've already experienced most of the year. We made it through Christmas morning, decking the halls, singing carols, and slowly we're emerging from our coma to realize that a new year is upon us. This new year is a gift full of anticipation, and though there are no guarantees, we make our plans, we say our prayers, set our goals, and hope for a tomorrow better than yesterday, as good as yesterday may have been. Yet those of us who have lived enough years know that there will be trouble, dashed dreams, broken hearts, sickness, mourning, and disrupted plans. Goals will be unmet. Plans will change. And oh, among this hurt and sadness, joyful surprises will nurse our hearts and encourage us to hope once more. Already, not yet. For believers, we know that this means we live in a world where Jesus has already rescued us, and yet he has not returned for good. We still live in a broken world, so we wait in joyful hope, and sometimes in trembling fear, humble remorse, patient or impatient longing. We wait, but we live in the meantime. We strive to thrive and not merely survive. We look with longing, and the longing leads us upward toward ideals of living not necessarily a great life, but a good one. This week captures that feeling better than any week of the year. It's full of reflection, and it's full of expectation. Anything is possible, for better or for worse. So we make our plans, and we lay them out like an offering. We hope that he will multiply the good and toss out the bad as far as the east is from the west. We prepare to restart our homeschool year. We look upon it with fresh eyes after a long break. Things look clear. We wonder what in the world we were thinking adding that curriculum in the fall, and we throw it out without looking back. We see with renewed confidence which books need to be read, which skills need to be honed, which habits need to be practiced, which activities can get cut and which holes can be filled, which branches need to be pruned. We pray and consider what this season of our life looks like as the mother, the homeschooler, the wife, the friend, the fill in the blank. We feel confident we will be able to wear all the hats and look great in them. The new year is a blank slate in some ways, a year, with no mistakes in it yet, in the words of Anne. And yet, God has seen every day already. He knows our story. It's in the book. But we have the privilege of playing our part. It's a mystery in so many ways. I have always been a pretty nostalgic person, and part of that plays out through regular reflection and looking at life as one big story. So it makes sense that New Year's is one of my favorite holidays. Reflection helps us see with perspective, but I can't for the life of me predict the future. When Christians set goals, we are partnering with God. We are jumping up, raising our hands, standing at attention, saying, I'm here, I'm available, I'm ready. It would be a grave mistake to think that we have the right to say, okay, Lord, here's what I need to happen this year. That's why prayer covers it all. Goal setting is a matter of good stewardship. God is sovereign, but we are responsible for our time here. The farmer is not, as the adage goes, to lean on a shovel and pray for a hole. We're all on the clock while we walk this earth, and goal setting asks the question, how are you spending your working hours? As a homeschool mom, it can feel like educating your children is your only job. While motherhood is full-time, it's not full you. In fact, if you allow it to become all of you, you'll have nothing to pour out for your children. Goal setting is very much a way to take the responsibility of shaping your family culture, your marriage, your children, and yourself. So how does this look practically? Well, this is how it looks for our family. Sometime around New Year's Day, we get the whole family together. There's usually food involved and a fun activity following. And we look back over the past year and look forward into the next. My husband and I get together before this meeting to prepare. First, we talk about our personal goals. How did we do last year? What do we hope for the next year? And then we discuss goals that we want for our family. Remember, goals should be specific, measurable, and attainable. So instead of saying, I'll exercise more, try being more specific and say, I'll walk 1 mile every day after morning time. It helps to break down goals into categories and in order of priority, as a reminder that if you are strong in one, it will trickle down and benefit the others. The stronger you are spiritually, the better your marriage. The better your marriage, the better your mothering. The better your mothering, the better your homeschool, and so on. None of these can exist without each other because they comprise who you are. With my goals and categories, I can see where I'm uneven and if I'm lacking in areas and need growth. It shows me where God is working in my life and helps me just ever so slightly get a glimpse into the future. Family goals affect everyone. These can be fun bucket list kind of things like get a cabin on the lake this summer, or the less fun like get the driveway fixed. Since I am the one who's more excited about this meeting, I tend to bring the ideas to the table and my husband and I sort them out together. We will usually choose a focused word or phrase for the year. Past choices have included things like smooth transition, growth, and faith. I try to find a Bible verse to support our choice each year. Then, as a nice little shock to the system, I list the age that everyone will turn the upcoming year. This is a reminder that our goals need to reflect the actual age, stage, and season that we are in. In other words, it helps me cling tightly to reality and let go of some things while pressing into new adventures. Each of our kids prepares their goals ahead of time too. When they were little, I would have them pick only 3 goals. 1 for the mind, 1 for the body, 1 for the soul. But now that they are older, they choose 1 or 2 within the same categories that my husband and I do. So our categories are spiritual goals, mental, physical, financial, relational, and creative. When we're all together, we open in prayer and we talk about God's faithfulness to our family over the past year. The highlights, like a big accomplishment or a trip or a new friend brought into our lives, sit next to the more difficult ones, like deaths, job losses, and unexpected changes. We count it all because we can see how God was faithful to our family in not only the joyful times, but through the pain and hardship as well. I usually scroll back through our pictures from the year with the family as a prompt, and almost always the verdict is, wow, we had a really good year. We write the highlights down in a notebook titled, A Record of God's Faithfulness to Us, so that we can remember. Finally, we lay all the goals out to discuss. First, personal goals, and then family goals. This is great for accountability, building family culture, and getting the calendar in order. I would love to say that we sit cozily on the couch through all of this, reflecting and discussing, reminiscing and hoping forward. But the truth is this meeting is usually noisy, full of interruptions, and it lasts longer than any of us would like, hence the food and the promise of a fun activity afterwards. Making memories is usually messy. But don't be discouraged if you try this and it's not picture perfect. It's still working, I promise. We've been doing this for years and it is fruitful every time. We end our meeting by covering our goals in prayer, and we move forward into the year on the path that we've planned, aware that we will inevitably encounter roadblocks and mishaps, but sure, nevertheless, of the guide who leads us. So that is a snapshot of what it looks like for our family to set goals. Like I said, we have done for years, and I've found it to be really great in guiding us in our family culture. So I hope that it will encourage you as well. If you and your family do not set goals, maybe you'll consider setting some this year and just starting off simple and having kind of a family day where you get together and do it and have some food and have some fun afterwards. And if you do set goals, maybe it will inspire you to break them into categories and be more intentional about growing in each area. Well, that's all for now. If you are loving the podcast, don't forget to share, rate, or review. This really helps to get the word out and encourage others just like yourself. And until next time, keep living outside the box.